Hello, today we're going to take you out to the land of waterfalls, out to Brevard, North Carolina. Is that right?
That is right. Yes, Brevard, North Carolina. That's where we're going.
It's a beautiful place that's tucked into the Blue Ridge Mountains, so stay tuned and learn everything about Brevard, North Carolina.
Buckle up, folks, because here we go.
This is RV Destinations Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the RV Destinations Podcast. I am Randy B. Heimer here. Join with me my lovely wife, Caly B. Heimer. We're sitting here in Kentucky getting ready to go to Alabama, which seems to be the story of our life. We've got some RV issues we've got to deal with. We'll get those taken care of. But today on the line, we've got Carrie Hanrahan. You love her. You know her. She frequently joins the show. You want to introduce her properly?
Well, you did a great introduction. We've got Carrie Hanrahan on the line with us. Woo! Go, Carrie!
And the crowd goes wild.
And they go wild. I can hear them all from their cars right now. Hi, Carrie. How are you doing?
Hey, guys. I am great. And I see the sun is finally out in South Carolina, so I'm extremely excited because we have had rain for days.
Oh, really? Ugh,
yeah.
That's no fun.
Yeah, it's nice to see the sun.
Yeah, no kidding. It's been kind of a rainy summer this year. I would agree with that. It's been a little gray in places.
Yeah, it sure has. Well, we've been in the Keys. It's been nice and sunny there, but it was just
But
ridiculously
even just not
hot.
in Florida, like mid-Florida, we had gray days and rainy days. Hit the Florida Keys, it was gorgeous and beautiful and sunny every day. And then we left and got back up into Maine, Florida, and it was gray again.
So
anyway.
we should tell our listeners, or if you're on YouTube watching us, we should tell them we are changing the format a little bit. You might notice that some of the videos and the podcasts are shortening. This is something by request and some workflow things. So we're trying to keep these within 30 minutes. So
Yes.
so I guess you probably figured that out because we have 3 or 4 that are shortened. But anyway, so we're going to jump right in. Oh, before we jump in, though,
okay.
we want to tell everybody out here that we're excited to tell you that Caly and I are going to be releasing books. 2 different books. Caly's been writing hers for about 20-something years, and it's the lies that
The lies that bind.
The lies that bind. And then I've got a book coming out in October 31st, called American Echo. Sorry, it took me a minute. I'm already writing the sequel to it, but American Echo is available for pre-orders right now on Amazon, and if you're looking for the hard copy, it's at Barnes and Nobles exclusively. So if you're looking for some RV read, give us a check out.
Not about RVing.
Yeah, it's not about RVing, but it's both fictional stories and pretty good stories. So anyway, enough of that. Let's jump in. We again only have 30 minutes, but
we're not going to go racing through at warp speed, and your hair is not going to be flying behind you as you're running along with us. So we'll make it nice.
Land of Waterfalls, which that's I don't want to skip over something, or not skip over, but I don't want to elaborate on something we're going to talk in great detail about. But that's what Brevard's known for. But there's also some white squirrels that they're known for. Is that right, Carrie?
They are. Brevard is known for white squirrels. Supposedly back in like 1949-ish, there was a carnival that came through town, and one of the train tipped over, and the white squirrels that were in it escaped and made Brevard their home. So they're pretty elusive now. I've seen just a handful when I've been in the area, so it's not something I can guarantee you're going to see, but it's fun. They've adopted them. They do a white squirrel weekend, a 3-day weekend in May, where they have this huge celebration. You can meet Sammy the squirrel in town. And, street festival and all that kind of stuff. So they've really adopted it. They've declared themselves a squirrel sanctuary. So there are a number of areas in town that, keep your eyes open, and if you actually happen to camp at the Davidson River campground, I saw one out there. So, keep your eyes open when you're in town. It's definitely something you will see. There is actually even one shop in town that's dedicated to everything white squirrel.
That is great. And for all the squirrels that are listening in or watching us on YouTube, this is a sanctuary city for you. You can go there and be safe.
not get imported or deported.
That's right. You won't get deported back to your squirrel home state. You can stay there in Brevard and hang out with the white squirrels.
Now, I also understand that, downtown Brevard has a lot of beautiful, quaint shops. Tell us a little bit about the shopping and maybe some of the restaurants.
Yeah, Brevard itself is just it's an adorable, quaint town. It definitely has become more of a tourist attraction area because of the area it's in. It's surrounded by stunning wilderness, but then when you go into downtown, of course, there's all the fun shops where you can get whatever souvenirs you want. There's a number of beautiful art galleries that I would say definitely pop into because you will find some stunning artwork by local artists, some fun restaurants that you can head to. So, and everything is very walkable in downtown.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, a fun spot to go to. And yeah, about anything you'd want on, a day off from doing all your outdoor excursions, pop into town and just do some exploring.
And we should let everybody know that we do have top things to do in these areas as a PDF format that you can download. And Carrie does give some recommendations of some art shops art galleries and different things to go visit and see while you're in Brevard. So
absolutely,
we're going to definitely keep up with those.
Yep. So for more detailed information, you just pop out to our website, rvdestinationsmagazine.com, look for the destination, and lo and behold, ta-da! There will be your top thing to do list. Absolutely.
Now, there's a popular hiking trail there that you did. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I did a little of it because this one, the Loeb Trail, is actually one of the most popular trails in this area. It begins or ends, depending which way you want to look at it, in the Pisgah National Forest. And the Loeb Trailhead actually, again, is literally steps from the Davidson River Campground. So it's a great base spot to be because there's so many things you can do from that campground. But there's a parking head trail there that you can do, but this trail is, I would say, be in shape. It's definitely a more difficult trail, but again, it is very popular because people can start at one end and you really climb up like the backbone of this mountainous area with stunning views. People do through camping as they go along this. So, if you throw in your sleeping bag and small tent, you can just stop along the trail and camp. And it ends for going the direction I was headed, it ends in the Shining Rock Wilderness. And the Shining Rock is this one rock, obviously, but it's Shining Rock because it's quartzite. And so it gives off this beautiful glow, if the light is hitting it just right. But it's a 30.1 mile trail. So, it's something to plan for if you want to do something like that. It has a number of different parking areas that you can do along the trail. So you'll pick your section because it's divided into 4.
Okay.
So it's a really neat thing to do just because of the views that you will get. The highest point you will go is 6,214 feet because that's the summit of, I got to look, Black Balsam Knob.
Okay.
So head out and find that. The Loeb Trail is actually named after an activist in the area. He was the Carolina Mountain Club activist, so that's why it has its name.
I was going to say, it sounds painful, 6,000 feet. What's the elevation? Did you say what the elevation was? I didn't hear you say that. No, the elevation change, I should say, on the hike.
Oh, I didn't. And actually, I don't know off the top of my head. Okay. But yeah, because the trail where I started actually starts down at the river. Gotcha. So you are going.
So you're climbing the whole 6,000 if you go all the way to the top. Gotcha. Yeah. That's painful.
Yeah. Yep. But at least it's spread out.
Yes. And it sounds like if you wanted to do something shorter, you could do just a segment of it versus the whole thing. So
right. Exactly.
Where there's a will, there's a way, folks.
But if you're not into hiking, you can also jump on your bike and there's some things to do, right?
I know. Again, from your campsite, you can actually go right back to that Loeb Trailhead area and you can get on, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I'm going to say Estatoe Trail.
Okay.
And it's really like the city greenway trail that you can do, but it actually does start at the trailhead for the Loeb hike. And so you can hop on there, ride the gravel trail through that part of the forest. Then you'll kind of get to a main road that takes you across to the path that goes through town and all the way to downtown. So it's a little less than 5 miles total, one direction, but you can, along the way, what's fun is there's a couple of breweries you can stop at. Here, a famous one is the Oscar Blues Brewery. You can try some of their beers and stuff, but then other head into downtown from that way. So there's a lot of ways to get actually into Brevard and do a lot of fun things too without having to always just drive.
Oh, that's fun.
Bike and brew. I like it.
I know.
Can you get a ticket for that in North Carolina?
I don't know. Driving under influence.
If you're on a gravel road, I don't know. I don't know what the laws are.
Is that a road?
Yeah, is it a road? Is it a trail? What are those laws? Yeah, so if you do choose to do this and have one too many beers, just know that you are doing this at your own risk.
I would think that a clever prosecutor, if you were on an e-bike, could probably pull it into a DUI somehow.
Oh, I'm sure. I've heard of people getting DUIs riding lawnmowers.
Well, that's why I'm wondering if it was a pedal bike and not an electric bike, if they could pull. Yeah, anyway.
I don't know. Again, drink and ride your bike at your own risk.
If you're an attorney listening to the show, let us know.
Right. Put in the comments below.
Yeah, we'd like to know because I would love to bike and brew. That sounds amazing to me.
Well, if you want something a little bit longer than just a few miles, there are some other opportunities to get out and about, right? There's quite an amount of mountain biking trails, aren't there, Carrie?
There's amount of mountain biking.
I said a good amount.
Oh, gotcha.
A good amount, yes.
A good amount.
The Brevard area is really an outdoor enthusiast playground. There are so many things to do in this area. And again, mountain biking is one of them. There's over 200 miles of trails that surround the area, and they are very well known for this. There's campgrounds that really cater to mountain bikers and everything. So it's an area that, you can do from easier to more advanced, depending what you want. If you're a beginner and you want to kind of learn, you can always hook up with one of the companies in the area that rent the bikes and actually will take you on a trail ride so that you can, kind of get a feel for it, see if it's something you want to do. But there's all kinds of places to ride around there. If you, do a little research and that's something you want to do, you could make a whole vacation just out of that.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, you're saying there's over 200 miles of mountain bike trails there?
Yeah, over 200 miles. 80 of those miles are just within the DuPont State Recreational Forest. It's about 15 minutes tops away from Brevard. So again, pretty much anywhere you go, you can find mountain biking.
That's incredible. Now, the next one is something that we just experienced in Montana for the first time last November. And I tell you what, I'm not much of a fisherman, but I really enjoyed fly fishing. And you said there's some pretty good fly fishing here in the area.
Yeah, I'd say there's, again, as I said, outdoor paradise. It's a playground again for fly fishermen. It's very well known actually for its fly fishing area. Transylvania County itself has just tons of fly fishing areas. And the thing, if you're going to fly fish in this area, you're going to want to probably do it in the spring or the fall. You don't. You don't fly fish in the heat. It's obviously you're just not going to catch anything. So those are the time of years you'd probably want to plan. But there literally are trails everywhere that you can go. I mean, if I drive from here, even my house towards North Carolina near Brevard, I just know tons of places I can pull right off the road and I can walk to a fishery stream.
Wow.
So, very cool.
And I really enjoyed fly fishing. I grew up fishing with my dad and never really enjoyed it. Sorry, Dad. I didn't.
He's
I did
not listening.
Right.
You're okay.
I'm okay. So when we did the fly fishing, at first I was like, oh, yay, fly fishing. But I enjoyed it so much. I see why people do it now. I used to see these people fly fishing. I'm like, that looks so dumb. And then I did it, and there's such a skill to it. There's such an art.
And it's kind of funny. I'll toot her horn for her. So we're first-time fly fishers. We're in Montana, in the most beautiful place, and you could imagine a fly fish. And, the guy's kind of downplaying, like, this takes years of learning how to do it right and proper, and don't be discouraged. And, a lot of people throw their lines into boats and trees and logs, whatever. And Caly starts throwing out, and the guide was like, yeah, that's pretty good. Then a few minutes later, like, yeah, actually, you're spot on.
I was like, oh, cool, this is easy.
Yeah, and I'm over there hitting logs, and I'm throwing it, losing it, and hitting the boat we're in, and all kinds of stuff. And no, she picked up, and he was really impressed.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had to toot her horn for her.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
well,
it is, with being one of the most popular things to do. Again, I hate to keep going back to that Davidson River campground.
Yeah.
The stream is right there. You literally walk from
nice.
your campsite to the stream and fish.
That is nice.
So I know this is kind of out of normal. Let's talk a little bit about that. So is that a state park? Is that what you're saying? Or is that like a regional park? Or is it a private park?
It's a state park area. Yeah. It's in the Pisgah National Forest, which from Brevard downtown, you would drive 10 minutes maybe to that campground area. And fair warning, it is an extremely popular campground. If it's something you thought you would want to book, do it as soon as you think you can, because it tends to be, especially at fly fishing season, it's booked out. It's so hard to get to, but its location is absolutely perfect. And like I said, I keep going to that one. There are numerous other campgrounds in the area, but that one in particular, you have access to the fishing, to the biking, to the hiking, to other waterfalls that are in the Pisgah National Forest. So it's such a great spot to be as an RVer, because it's got everything you want.
That's nice.
I assume there's length restrictions back there, or do you have any idea?
I've been in the campground numerous times. I don't know what the length restriction is, but
I'll see if I can look it up while we're continuing on.
Yeah, it's a good sized campground, and so I know I have seen some pretty large rigs in there. So.
Are you pulling it up over there?
Yeah, I'm on their website right now. And hey, folks, if you want to get out there this weekend, they do have a couple of sites available that are still open this weekend.
The problem is this podcast isn't going to run for 5 weeks.
Because this is in August.
So
so it looks like the one site that I picked up said max length was 30 feet on this one site. I will see if we can find some lengths on other sites, and I will get back with you.
Love's RV stops are conveniently located at Love's travel stops across the country. Let Love's be a part of your journey on your next RV trip. With over 100 RV stop locations nationwide, you can reserve an RV spot overnight and turn on amenities all from your phone. With over 420 dog parks, they've even got your furry family members covered. They are the perfect pit stop for everyone on the road. Fuel up, grab a bite to eat, and stay the night at Love's. Download the Love's app to save on fuel, snacks, and book your RV stay. And use code DESTINATIONS10 for 10% off your next RV booking. Love's, the heart of the highway.
All right,
so why don't you move on to number 3 since you're taking my job?
I am taking your job.
Rude.
All right, so tell us a little bit about the music. There's a music scene here in Brevard, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. And it's such a varied music scene, because you have, obviously the normal, go to the brewery and there'll be music at the brewery, or go to, whichever local establishment, and there's music just like everywhere else. But if you are actually into orchestra and more classical music and everything, they have the Brevard Philharmonic, which is there, and they perform at the Brevard College, maybe 5 or so performances throughout the year, so that's kind of a cool aspect. And then they also have this other spot that's the Brevard Music Center. And it's located on beautiful grounds to begin with, but it's a learning center essentially for students. They do a summer music fest in the summertime. So essentially like mid-June through August, where high school and college students go and to learn. What's so cool about it, though, is the artistic director for this is the conductor for the Boston Pops. And so, so he is in charge of everything there. They bring in, like Yo-Yo Ma has been there once to play with the students. Essentially, it's like pairing students with these really talented, famous people and helping them learn. And so then they give concerts. So,
cool.
So it's you have all these different things to, that you can do. And then, the kind of one other claim to fame things are, Steve Martin was part of the band that was there. And the Steel Canyon Rangers, at one point, that was a band that he played with. He supposedly, I couldn't quite clarify it anymore, if he still has a home in Brevard. He did. And if he still does, you don't see him often, but it's kind of cool that they have that connection there too, because the Steel Canyon Rangers still play around the areas and everything too. So whatever type of music you want to see, you can probably find it in Brevard.
Very interesting.
That's cool.
So
go see Steve Martin. And we're talking about Steve Martin, the actor, right?
Sorry. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I assume that's who you were talking about, but I wanted to make sure.
So we are getting mixed information thanks to ChatGPT on the RV length for the Davidson River Campground. According to recreation.gov, it can go up to 36 feet in certain areas, but some third-party sources suggest 45 to 67 can fit on some sites, depending on the site. So it
So
sounds
call
like
them to verify.
Yeah, call to verify
Call to verify.
because there's other people like Allstay said that yes, 45-foot rigs can fit in there. So yeah, just call to verify, folks.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to go about 15 minutes away from Brevard. You've got a recreational area there. You can jump in anytime you
You
want.
just stole my job. I am just going to sit here quietly because now I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
You just took over, Carrie, all of a sudden rudely today during this podcast.
I'm waiting for her to step in, and she hasn't stepped in, so I'm like, okay.
I can't get a word in edgewise.
Today, your host is Randy Beheimer.
Right?
Anyway, so about 15 minutes away, we've got the DuPont State Recreational Forest, and you got some waterfalls there. We're going to be talking a lot about waterfalls over the next couple of things. But maybe tell us a little bit, because you've got your own biking and waterfall and hiking and all that in this old park. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, definitely. It is an extremely popular area just outside of Brevard. It's a 10,000 acre forest, and it's, I actually just went last week. I went back because it'd been a little while since I had written this top 10 type thing. And I wanted to be sure after Hurricane Helene that everything was still as I remembered it. So, because a lot of that area got impacted by that, but it was still perfectly what I remembered, which is awesome. So in the state forest, again, that's where you're going to find that 80 miles or so of the mountain biking trails. And there are beautiful waterfalls there that you can head to. What makes a little bit of the area a little bit famous is, if you are a fan of the Hunger Games, they used a number of the areas and waterfall backdrops in the movies.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. And also the Last of the Mohicans. Some of that was filmed there too.
Oh.
So it's kind of a neat area, but you have 6 waterfalls that you can hike to. Like 3 of them you can kind of do like on a loop hike that's about 3 or so miles long. There's I think 74 or more trails open to hikers and bikes and equestrian. There's just so much in this park to do that, again, I spent probably a half a day there and just touched a tiny bit of it. So, I would definitely recommend it. If you're going to go on the weekend, do be prepared for it to be quite crowded. It is a very popular park with the locals and with visitors. So just be a little prepared for that.
Mm-hmm. And curious, since you were just recently out there, do they have camping sites in there by chance?
Within the park, I don't believe so, because there's a number of right outside of like the entrance areas. There's actually a number of areas where you can camp. I'm trying to stop and think if so, but I don't believe there's anything within the park itself.
Okay, very cool.
You know what? And I don't want to get ahead because I am looking at campgrounds. You know what's real close to this? Is the Mountain Falls RV resort, luxury resort.
Luxury.
Yeah, Lake Toxaway. It's not too far from this area. So that's we've stayed there before, and that is a beautiful area. We've hiked somewhere around there, so I wonder if we've hiked in this area before.
Maybe. We need to go back. We need to go back. We need to do over.
We need to go stay with those pretentious people.
Yes,
I say that
with
kidding.
our pretentious RV.
We pulled in with our brand new Winnebago. Or
No,
was it the Pace Arrow?
it was the Pace Arrow.
Our brand new Pace Arrow. They were big balling in the.
And then we rolled in, and I was like, "There's a Prevost. There's a Prevost. There's a Newell. There's another Prevost."
Us in the Allegro bus. I think
it was a Dutch Star.
Dutch Star. Us in the Dutch Star. We talked about how poor we were up there next to all these $2 million motorhomes, but everybody was super nice. I say that tongue in cheek,
Yes,
but
because RVers are still amazing regardless of what you're in.
But yeah, it's definitely a luxury resort.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the prices being crazy.
No.
I mean, they were more expensive than a state park or an average campground, but they weren't crazy.
Nope, they're not at all.
Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So I'm going to take us on to I think you would probably consider this, Carrie, like one of the top things to do in the area because there's so many of them to see, correct? So kind of walk us down the path of the waterfalls.
Yeah, again, stunning, beautiful, anything you can imagine waterfalls. There's over 250 waterfalls within a decent distance of Brevard. I mean, you don't have to go far to see all kinds of them. Some of them are obviously much more well-known than others, but they're just stunning. Going from Brevard to the Pisgah National Forest, which is just a few minutes away, and you take that road, it actually goes from the entrance to the Loeb Trail. If you continue past that, you will end up on the Blue Ridge Parkway. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, so along that road, there's just some gorgeous ones there. You have Looking Glass Falls, which is probably one of the most famous along that area because it's literally roadside. So you can park and see this stunning waterfall literally steps from your car. And then they have another area called the Sliding Rock Recreational Area, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's this huge rock with a waterfall running over it. And in the summertime, it is a place people pay, I don't know, it's like $5 admission or something to go into and slide down the rock into the water at the bottom. And it is busy all summer long. So that's just two. There's, again, the DuPont State Rec area. There are just waterfalls everywhere. So if you go to Brevard, make sure you go to the visitor center or any one of those areas and grab, they literally have the waterfall map.
Oh, cool.
So that's their slogan, more or less, is the land of waterfalls. And so don't miss them. They are some of the most beautiful waterfalls I have ever seen.
That's fun. So it sounds like whether you want to, hike up to one, or drive by one, swim in one, photograph one, there's just plenty to choose from. And the visitor center is the perfect place to go to start your waterfall adventure.
Yeah, definitely there. Or even if you happen to be staying at the campground by Davidson River, right across the road almost is the Pisgah National Rec area, their visitor center also. So you can go there and get all of the forest information that will also show you, all the waterfalls, hiking trails, and everything that's within the Pisgah National Forest that's right there. So, Brevard has everything. They have the Pisgah National Forest. They have the DuPont State Recreational Forest. They have mountain biking. They have fly fishing. They have music. I don't know what else to say.
Right. They have it all. Yeah. I mean, it's literally an entire vacation, adventure-based, outdoor-based, and mix in the downtown. I mean, you can literally do a little bit of everything in this area.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
It sounds like a fun area. It really does.
It does. We'll add it to our ever-growing list.
Yeah, we love waterfalls. I mean, as a photographer, do you not ever love a waterfall? I mean, so we've done a lot of waterfall hunting down in Tennessee, which Tennessee, you don't think of Tennessee as being a big waterfall place, but there's a lot of waterfalls in Tennessee as well.
Yep.
So, but anyway, so looking at campgrounds, there's over 137 campgrounds in the general vicinity of Brevard. And there's a lot of really highly rated ones as well. I could go down through these Mountain Falls Luxury Coast that we said if you have to have a motorhome to get in there, and it is a schwanky place. We were not kidding about that. It's very schwanky, and I think your motorhome has to be 10 years newer.
and sometimes they will ask for proof with pictures.
But there's a lot of them here that are really close to 10 stars, and I'm on RV Life's campground reviews. I've got Pisgah Forest RV Park and Campground, got 9.6 out of quite a bit of reviews. There's a KOA there in Travelers Rest, South Carolina, which is about 17 miles out of the city center of Brevard. It got quite a bit of review, 9.6. Gorgeous State Park, which is in Sapphire, North Carolina, got really good reviews. So a lot of camping options. So if you're willing to drive a little bit outside of Brevard, you can get into some beautiful country and camp there. So. Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, what do you got going on? You got any books you're releasing or anything?
No, I don't. I haven't found the time. I'm not sure where you found the time, but hey.
We don't sleep. We're vampires. We just didn't want to tell anybody.
No.
Yeah, it's I told somebody this, and I don't mean for this to sound pretentious, but they always say if you want to get something done, give it to somebody that's busy because they, allocate their
Yeah.
time, and that we've got to divide up our time all day long between the investment business, between the magazine, the podcast. Now we're going to be published authors here on October 31st. Caly's is coming up a little bit behind me, but
I'm still wrapping mine up. It's finished in my head. It's 7/8 down on paper. I'm going through the editing process of me and keep rewriting some things and finish it up. I'm hopeful by the end of the year.
Yeah, for all those listeners that are still tuning in, I go into the pen name Knox Legend, which is actually my granddaughter's name. I was trying to think of a pen name because I figured most people can't pronounce Beeheimer. And so I started.
Well, and it doesn't roll off the tongue.
I started combining my grandkids' names, and then I was like, wait a minute, Knox's middle name's Legend. That would be perfect, Knox Legend. It's either a porn star or a writer's name, one or the other.
Just don't tell Knox.
I'm not going to tell my son. I'm not going to tell my son
Right.
or daughter that. But anyway, so I took it. So yeah, if you go out to knoxlegend.com, you can read all about my book, and then
How
Caly's
did
will
this
be.
become about you?
I
We were
know.
talking about Carrie.
Well, we talking about. Yeah, I don't know why. Sorry.
Wow, it is the Randy Beeheimer show today, folks.
No,
I'm
it's not.
sorry.
No, it's not. I got a lot of energy.
You do.
So Carrie's one of our most gifted photographers. We got a lot of great photographers. I don't want to downplay any of the other ones, but Carrie's one of our core writers and core photographers. Why don't you tell them a little bit about sites? So you still have your gallery up, right, where people can come
your
and
blog.
purchase. The blog and the gallery.
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about that.
still have the gallery up, carriehanrahanphotography.com. Get out as much as I can to try and do that. I've been a little swamped with doing some writing since I'm writing for you guys, and I actually write for RV Life also. So between the two,
Oh, good.
it's a bit much, but I just finished a trip out to Mount Airy, North Carolina, which will be a story for you guys. That's making its way there. Mount Airy is Mayberry. So it's from the Andy Griffith.
Oh, that's right.
Fun.
Yeah, so it was
That's
a fun
right.
spot to be. And that I did in association with my She Finds Hidden Gems Instagram site. So I paired with the tourism board there to get a little extra access to a few things to see. So yeah, we have some, lots of things in the works, but like you guys know, there's always something going on.
And that's a newer Instagram page for you, isn't it?
It is. Yep. I decided at this point that, the photography is what I do. That's where my heart is at most of the time, but things have evolved a bit and I do a lot more travel writing and everything. So figured I might as well share all the places that I'm finding.
Yep. Yeah, and you are a gifted writer in addition to all the pictures. But all right, well,
Appreciate it.
that sounds good. You want to take us out? We're right at our 30-minute mark. We did really good.
Yay, look at us
Congratulations!
get
High
on with our
five to
bad
everybody!
selves.
High five to
Yay,
everybody!
woo, woo. All right. Well, thank you again, Carrie, for joining us today. As always, we so appreciate having you here with us.
I'm glad to be back. Next time we'll see what's coming up next.
Yep.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it. And we want to thank all of you out there for joining us in here today. Be sure to listen to our podcast wherever you find your podcast because we are out there. And then don't forget about our YouTube channel. Please get out there. Please check it out. I'm begging you. Please. Hit the subscribe button to our YouTube channel so that you're always up to date on the newest content that we're providing. Definitely check out our website, guys, because we are doing a lot of really cool stuff behind the scenes. It's going to be launching very, very soon that is designed to get incredible RV content into your hands. We have a ton of free travel resources out there for you as an RVer. And because we treasure you so much as a listener, if you haven't subscribed to the magazine yet, if you go out there to rvdestinationsmagazine.com/subscribe and use the code podcast20, podcast20 at checkout, you're going to save 20% off any of our subscriptions. So it's a great way to save and get a copy of our incredible magazine, again, filled with great destination content designed for you, the RVer. So we just want to thank you for joining us and listening to us. We really appreciate it.
Be safe.
Safe travels, y'all.